sat on the bench for. I was in the game on 4 inches. Coach put me in the game on 4 inches. Put me in the game on 4 inches. Coach put me in the game on 4 inches. And I'ma lead them boys.
Welcome back to the 4th and Inches podcast. I'm your host, Carwell. And again, we have a special guest, Mr. Khari Mincey. Mr. William Carwell can't be with us here today, but he asked that we continue as scheduled. So, Mr. Khari.
Yes, sir.
Last time you were here, you were talking a lot about LSU.
You know it. Best team you can ever find.
LSU beat Georgia.
Yes. Yes, they did.
I'm sorry to hear that. I have to give it to you, though. You said they were going to win. They won.
And they did what I said they needed to do. Force the pass.
Yeah,
Might have been bad play calling on y'all side, but
terrible
I'll go with that.
I just want to give you your kudos, your congratulations.
I appreciate that because most people won't do that.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm bigger than that, man. Come on, man. This is me. We talking about you, Vic.
I understand.
All right, so we're going to start off with a Week 8 recap. Of course, Georgia was off, so we know they won. Anyway, we're going to start with number 6, Michigan beat number 24, Michigan State, 21-7. Your thoughts on that game?
Shea Patterson really kind of stepped up a little bit. I like the Michigan defense. Their defense been playing tough all year. Jim Harbaugh's starting to get it together with his coaching, so Michigan need to keep on rolling, keep on doing what they're doing. I like them.
Man, Jim Harbaugh has had the number 1 defense the last 2 or 3 seasons. That's impressive. All they needed was a quarterback, and they finally got it. You have number 9 Oklahoma beating TCU 52-27. Kyler Murray was fantastic.
Fantastic. I feel like TCU is disappointing this year. I feel like they were supposed to do way better than what they're doing, and they ain't even competing in this game too much to me.
I don't know. They've been competing in most of the games they've been in, but they just got more talent. They just got more talent, man.
Yeah, I mean, that system they got is nice over there in Oklahoma.
Nice, definitely. Number 1, Alabama, 58-21 whipping of Tennessee.
I'll take it that Tennessee actually did not give up in this game. I like how Tennessee actually played, even though they got blew out in the end. But they actually played pretty good against Bama. I can't give them that.
I agree with you on that. Tennessee been playing a lot better the last 2 or 3 weeks. Cause I felt like they were gonna get blown out by Auburn, and they actually won the game. I didn't see that coming at all. Side note with the Tennessee game, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Butch Davis, I believe his name is, that was a coach at Tennessee last year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on the Alabama coaching staff now.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either till this week. So what happened was the Alabama players, they poured a Gatorade on them after they won the game, and then he taking pictures, smoking cigars with the players at Alabama and all that. Like, how do you feel about that?
Traitor Nation.
Hey man, I just feel like that was low though. That's low.
That's low down.
That's low, especially when you recruited that whole team. Like those players came to Tennessee
for you
to play for you, and are you celebrating because they lost? That's low, bro. That's low. Cause see, first of all, you got fired because you were trash, and you recruited that team. Like, come on, man, that's terrible.
Traitor Nation.
Anyway, moving on. Number 16, NC State was playing number 3 Clemson. It was a 41-7 beatdown of the Wolfpack.
Ain't really much to talk about. We just know that game wasn't very competitive at all.
I mean, that running back for Clemson, I can't even say his name. It start with an E. The man is the truth, man. I'm just saying. He is the truth. I don't know why he wasn't starting at the beginning of the season, but he is the truth. Number 22, Mississippi State on the road at number 5, LSU. LSU came out on top, 19-3. This was like I thought it was going to be. It was an old-fashioned SEC game. Both defenses played well for the most part, but LSU just outlasted them.
As I expected, LSU is the best team. But, we have to have better quarterback play from Joe Burrow, especially when we're going against Alabama next week. We have this bye week this week to get ready. We're going to need a really, really big game for Joe Burrow next week.
I mean, if you're going to mention a bye week and getting ready, Alabama got a bye week too, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Oh, okay.
It's always like that.
As long as you understand, Nick Saban got a week too.
But we gonna come ready for two.
We gonna see. Moving on. Number 12, Oregon was upset on the road by number 25, Washington State, by a score of 34-20. That's an upset I didn't see coming.
To be honest, I didn't even realize that that Washington State were playing good.
Yeah, they've been pretty decent. I mean, they're like one of those teams that's not great. You know what I mean? They're not really blowing teams out, but they've been pretty decent all season. I just felt like Oregon is a better team, and I do feel like they play that game again, Oregon will win. That's just my personal opinion.
I really like Hubert, so I feel the same way.
I think just Hubert gonna be the first quarterback taken in the draft. Remember, you heard it here first. Just saying.
I'm more of a Drew Lock guy, but you know.
Have you seen Justin Hubert play?
Yes, I have.
Have you seen Drew Lock play?
Yeah.
You still like Drew Lock?
Drew Lock a better thrower.
Drew Lock has 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions against SEC teams. I have no other evidence to provide at this time. 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions. That's all I'm saying. It looked good against Purdue until you play Georgia. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Vandy at Kentucky. Kentucky won this game 14-7. It was a hard-fought game. Vandy's defense stood up and played like they always do.
Vandy is not a bad team. They just can't figure out how to win. They are a good team. They play defense. They do it all. Defense. They really are a good team. But I expected Kentucky to win because I really like Benny Snell. Benny Snell is
you can't be mad at Benny, man.
You really can't.
Yeah, you can't, man. Benny just, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just his personality, man. He might not win the Heisman. He got a Heisman personality, though. He's going to be a superstar in the NFL. I'm telling you.
I like it.
Number 2, Ohio State at Purdue. Purdue won 49-20. I'm going to let you go first. I got a lot to say.
This I really did not see coming because, I got Dwayne Haskins as my dark horse for the Heisman. So,
yeah, you killed all that noise.
Yeah, all that got killed. Purdue, that was a great running attack that they presented. I cannot agree. I was like, I didn't even expect that from them. But Ohio State, Urban Meyer, I got some work to do. If y'all gonna bounce back, y'all better make it work right now because it's not looking so good. The bye week came at a perfect time for y'all.
Or did it? Would you really want to go into a bye after getting beat down like that by Purdue?
I mean, they get some time to figure out.
It's Purdue.
I mean, you got to figure out some stuff, kind of, Nick.
And they got a lot to figure out. They got a lot to figure out, man. Urban Meyer looked really distraught at the end of that game, right? And you would expect him to, look away after losing to Purdue, the way they lost to Purdue. But I heard, I was listening to Drew Butler and Aaron Murray's podcast, and they had a quote from Paul Feinbaum, and Paul Feinbaum was basically saying he didn't feel like Urban Meyer would make it past this season as a head coach at Ohio State. I mean, if you look at his track record, after he had that great run with Florida, he pretty much quit on him. Like, we can say whatever, he had health problems, this, that, and third, and that might be true. But you quit the Florida job for a year, and then came back at Ohio State. So, obviously, your health problems couldn't have been too severe, or you wouldn't be back at Ohio State. But now you're back at Ohio State, things are starting to go downhill a little bit, and you still have health problems. Who knows, man? It might be his last season.
I saw Colin Coward say that Urban Meyer always starts out hot whenever he comes into a coaching job, and it slowly declines.
Right.
So, it could be Urban Meyer, but, never know.
Never know, man. It's something to keep an eye on. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with some Week 9 matchups, and we're also going to discuss, potential conference championship games and potential playoff teams. By Any Means Clothing is a proud sponsor of the 4th and Inches podcast, as well as the entire ZN3 Gang YouTube channel. We have many different sizes, different colors, and different styles to fit the whole family, from newborn all the way up to adults. It is getting cold out. The fall and winter are coming. You should get your hoodies, your t-shirts, and everything else at byanymeansclothing.com. All right, we're back. Week 9 games. We're going to start off with a Thursday night game. We actually film on Thursday, so hopefully we can get this done and edited and up in time for everybody to see our predictions. But on this Thursday night game, the biggest game in the country is number 25 App State at Georgia Southern University. Both teams coming to this game undefeated in the conference, and actually by the virtue of how the conference is separated, they're on the same side, along with Troy. So this is potentially a conference deciding game. Mr. Carter, what is your prediction for this game?
Me, I haven't seen too much of App State. I've seen some highlights and I saw some other stuff, so I couldn't really tell you too much about App State. But I do know that triple option at Georgia Southern is not letting up on anybody.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take the home team, Georgia Southern, to take this by maybe a touchdown.
I've seen a little bit of App State. They're really good. They probably should have beat Penn State early in the season, but this isn't Penn State. And Georgia Southern plays them every year. This is a real rivalry game, and I just think Georgia Southern is really gotten on the road. They've gotten back on the right track this season, and it's hard to bet against the Eagles at home, man. Back in Natland, as Mr. William Carwell calls it. So I'm taking Southern in the upset as well.
Gain of pride.
I'm gonna just let you have that, man. Let you have that. Man, shout out Jared McKinney. You know what I'm talking about. Chomping on them Gators. Number 2, Clemson at Florida State.
Clemson by a mile, because Florida State
By a mile?
Florida State, they ain't showed me nothing this year. They competed in some games, but
And I got Clemson. I got Clemson. I don't even know what the point spread is. I didn't even bother to look up the point spread. I just know Clemson is going to win this game. And if Clemson loses this game, it's going to be because Trevor Lawrence had a bad game. I'm telling you that right now. That's the only way. Matter of fact, I take that back. The only way for Clemson to lose this game is the running back ETN has to get hurt. Because if he can play and he's healthy, they going to win. It's that simple. Kansas State at number 8, Oklahoma.
Kyler keep doing what he doing. I don't really see Kansas State even really making too much noise. I like Kyler them by at least 2 touchdowns.
And I agree with all that. Kyler Murray is the truth. Like, people have a lot of hype around Tua Tagovailoa, and rightfully so, I guess. You know, they're winning. They're blowing everybody out.
No interceptions on his resume right now.
He also hasn't had to play a real game either.
You're right.
And I mean, that's not all to his credit, and there's nothing against him. But Kyler Murray has had to carry his team. And he's pretty much shown up every week and done that. Even the game they lost against Texas, they still put up 40-plus points in that game. The man is really playing like a real Heisman contender right now.
But people are saying it's really a product of the Oklahoma system because they're doing the same thing they did with Baker Mayfield. So.
Did Baker Mayfield get that same kind of... Were they talking about that with Baker Mayfield? No. They were talking about Baker Mayfield is doing this. Baker Mayfield is doing that. So you cannot then take credit away from Kyler Murray for doing the same thing, and even more because he can run. And Baker Mayfield wasn't running too much. He can scramble a little. He ain't running like this.
I agree with that, but I'm just saying that's just more what people say. I feel like Kyler Murray really is really good.
I mean, I've heard people say that too, and I just disagree with that because no matter how good the system is, as a player, you still have to make those plays, like flat out.
Take you.
Number 18, Iowa at number 17, Penn State. Penn State has had a rough stretch here, losing 2 out of their last 3 games, and now they play host to a tough Iowa team.
I feel like just because Penn State is home that they edged this victory out because they need this victory right now because they ain't playing too well. I was going to make it competitive, but I like Penn State by just a touchdown maybe.
I agree with that too. It's going to be a very close game, but I got to take Penn State because they're home. Number 12, Kentucky at Mizzou.
I like Drew Lock now, but I don't think he can really hold up against Kentucky because they've been playing pretty good defense. And then I like Benny Snell a lot. I really feel like he's the best back in the SEC. Most people say it's the back from Alabama, but I like Benny Snell. So I think Kentucky wins this by a touchdown. Benny Snell has about 152, two tubs on the ground.
He's definitely gonna get the carries to have the stat line you're talking about. I don't know if he's gonna have that many yards though, because Missouri's defense is really good against the run. So they potentially can give Kentucky problems. Because if you stop the run, you force them to throw the ball. That's a, I don't want to say a weakness, but Benny Snell is the strength of their offense. Let's just say it like that. So I look for the game to actually be closer than a lot of people think. But I'm not betting against Benny Snell, man, until next week. Because next week is a whole different story. But this week I'm betting with Benny Snell, man. That brings us to number 14, Washington State. Coming off the big upset of Oregon last week. This week they're on the road at number 24, Stanford.
Stanford has been too up and down for me. So I'm gonna take Washington State coming off that big victory. So that's how I'm gonna lean towards it.
If I'm not mistaken, Bryce Love is still out for Stanford, so I'm going to Washington State as well. But without Bryce Love, they're just not the same team.
I ain't know that, so that's even a plus on that.
I'm not 100% sure on that either, but I believe he is though. Number 16, Texas A&M on the road at Mississippi State.
Mississippi State plays good against everybody. I feel like they need to open up the play call more with Nick Fitzgerald. I don't know what in the world they have going on down there. But Texas A&M been playing pretty good ball, so we'll see. I think I'm leaning to more towards Texas A&M, but Mississippi State could pull this out if they choose to open up the play call with Nick Fitzgerald.
Yeah, man, Nick Fitzgerald has struggled in a new offensive system. I don't know what the problem really is, because he's a really good quarterback. But if he's not running the ball 20 times a game, they're really struggling, because it's almost as if they're coaching him to stay in the pocket and don't run. Or if he does run, it's so telegraphed that everybody knows it's coming. So it's hard for me to bet with Mississippi State, even though I know they're a good team. I know Nick Fitzgerald's a good quarterback, but they just haven't played like it. They've been up and down and inconsistent on offense. So I got to go with Texas A&M. Number 3, Notre Dame, playing Navy. They're actually playing in San Diego at the naval base out there. It's going to be a big game. Who you take?
I want to call this my upset, but I'm not sure quite yet. But I think I'm going to take Notre Dame with this one. I wanted to take them for the upset, but I don't know if I really can trust on somebody that can just run the triple option on this. But so I'm going to lead towards Notre Dame. Notre Dame should win this game.
Notre Dame should win. They're a heavy favorite. They have a better team, and since they made a switch at quarterback, they've been hard to handle. I'm just flat out say it. But if there was a game for them to lose before they get to Southern California at the end of the year, it would be this one, because a team like Navy can run the triple option, they can control the clock, and they can keep their offense off the field. I'm still not taking Navy, though. I'm taking Notre Dame. I hope I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong. I'm going for Navy. I'm rooting for them, but I think Notre Dame is going to win this game.
And it's one of my feelings, too.
Number 6, Texas at Oklahoma State.
Texas been playing pretty good this year, good defense. They should keep doing what they're doing, because Oklahoma State hasn't been doing too much. I thought they was a better team at the beginning of the year, but they've been starting to falter these past couple of weeks, so I'm going to have to go with Texas.
I'm going to step out on a limb. I'm taking Oklahoma State, and I have no real reason why. I just have a feeling that Oklahoma State is going to buck on Texas and make this a game, because Texas defense isn't playing that well. Even in the Oklahoma game that they won, they gave up 40-plus points to Kyler Murray. So Oklahoma State can slow down the Texas offense and make it just keep the game close. You have a chance for an upset at the end of the game. So I'm going to take Oklahoma State. I'm going to just step out on the limb. I'm going to take Oklahoma State in the upset. That brings us to the biggest game of the weekend. College Game Day is going to be in Jacksonville, as well as the SEC Network game show. They're also going to be in Jacksonville for the annual reunion of this rivalry, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Number 9, Florida, and number 7, Georgia in Jacksonville. What you think?
I'm gonna go with what my gut tells me. My gut tells me that UGA is going to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
My mind though is telling me Florida, just because they are playing pretty good this year, and they have an upset on LSU, which is the Georgia team lost to. I really do think that Georgia will win this game though, because of the superior running game, and just because I like Jake Fromm over Felipe Franks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to take Georgia in this by just a touchdown, but I feel like Florida will make the game competitive because they do have some athletes out there. So that's why I think I lean towards.
First of all, you're talking crazy. Talking about you feel like your head telling you Florida gonna win. That's crazy. Number 2,
My head telling me that.
let's be honest. The only way for Florida to win this game is if the Georgia coaching staff allows them to win this game. That's the only reason Georgia lost to LSU. They outcoached themselves into a loss. If you run the ball more and then pass off of the run game, you win that game. If you don't go for it, if you don't try a fake field goal on 4th and 9, that's a 3-3 game. This game is totally different with LSU. So in this game, I look for Elijah Holyfield to get 20-plus carries. I look for DeAndre Swift to touch the ball 15 times. You know what I mean? I look for them to protect Jake Fromm a little more in the pocket, not as much as Max protecting him, but just give him plays to get him going. You know what I mean? Every pass play shouldn't be on 3rd and 9, and they know you have to throw the ball, and now you running 15, 20-yard routes, and everybody's in coverage. That's just not smart. You know what I mean? And I also look for the defense to play more aggressively. They've been playing passive this whole year, and I never agreed with that coaching philosophy. Felipe Franks is not a great quarterback, but if you give him time, he can beat you, just like any other quarterback in the country. So you have to get after him. You have to pressure him. And I think Kirby Smart is smart enough to know that he's got to be more aggressive this game, and I look for Georgia to pull out the win.
Don't need some big help in that running game. Though. They're
Don't
gonna have to run that
definitely.
ball. Holyfield is a man.
So, Mr. Khari Mincey,
Yes, sir.
it's obvious to everybody your favorite team is LSU, correct?
Yes, sir.
Why is LSU your favorite team?
This is really why. The first game I ever watched.
I don't talk to them boys